Well, well, well. You're back for more gaming news. Well, we've got it. Hey folks, I'm Shygrim, and this is the Screencap. It's now estimated that by the year 2023, there will be around 354 million PC gamers in China, which is more than the entire population of the United States. It's also estimated that by the same year, China's games industry will be valued around $16 billion US, and that doesn't even include the much larger mobile gaming industry. It's surprising how China's gaming industry has been constantly growing since 2001, despite the heavy regulation from the Chinese government. The Chinese government put a freeze on the licensing of new games within its country back in March of 2018, and it lasted nearly a year. Even still, in 2018, China's gaming industry brought in $15.21 billion US with around 312 million PC gamers. Damn. It's also stated by PUBG Corp that Asia contributed roughly 53% of its revenue, which if you've ever played PUBG is not much of a surprise, to be honest. With all those gamers, it makes me wonder how the Switch will do there, considering Nintendo's communicating with Tencent to bring the Switch to the Chinese market, which will probably help it grow even more. Recently, Microsoft updated its community standards and included examples of how players should behave online. It's even stated that just a single inappropriate message could lead to a suspension or restriction. Repeat offenders could receive a permanent suspension, or even forfeit all licenses for games and other content, gold membership time, and Microsoft account balances. Wow. I mean, I kind of get it. If you've ever played Halo 3 or any Call of Duty game on Xbox Live, you would understand, but I feel that this is a little bit extreme. The fact that they say they'll revoke all the games you've purchased seems like it's going a bit far. I don't know how hard they're gonna crack down, but if you're not even allowed to swear, then like, what's the point, dog? It's COD. Might as well be playing Toontown at that point. Microsoft states that a little bit of trash talk is an expected part of a competitive game, and then goes to show us what is acceptable in their eyes. Oh god, they give examples. Oh, okay, so after looking at that, it looks like they won't allow swearing, at least in the form of text, but it's good that they're cracking down on racism and sexism. There's very rampant problems in gaming. Play a game that isn't totally chock full of teenage boys, and maybe you'll get a little less edgelords in your game. Just saying. Here we go again. There's been some recent news regarding Riot Games recently, which we've addressed in previous episodes, and it looks like there's still more to go. Riot Games has now responded to the staff's walkout threats. Riot says they will roll out a number of changes within the next 90 days, as well as removing the arbitration clause that prevents their employees from suing them. The clause will be removed from the contracts once the current lawsuits are over. Riot outlines 13 different commitments that will be implemented in the coming 90 days, all of which will be aimed to improve the culture within the company. They'll have a new process of interviewing to determine a person's values and gaming experience. I love how that's like a part of the interview. As well as launching an anti-harassment training program for all new hires. So is Riot finally getting it together? Let's hope so. Otherwise the employees will keep rioting.
Oh my god.
In the last month or so, a huge part of the Fortnite community has been solving puzzles with Season 8's new Rune event in hopes to unlock something hidden, and on just last Saturday, the door finally opened. Players entered the freshly opened vault and discovered a large cavern that contained many of the weapons and items that were removed in the past. When Epic removes an item from the game, they refer to it as being vaulted, and it appears that the vault that all the removed items were sent to is this vault. Sneaky. All of the vaulted items are trapped in blocks of ice within this vault, and players are able to easily break the ice, and it's assumed that players will be able to use these previously removed items. The first item to be broken out of the ice was the drum gun, and it looks like that because they re-added it back to the game entirely. But we're unsure if the vault has received any balance changes since, because the drum gun was a little OP. A little bit.
It probably hasn't received balance
just a little
changes.
bit. Shortly after the launch of Apex Legends, the developers stated that they had already banned around 16,000 cheaters and hackers from the game. Since that time, the number of players banned has dramatically increased. Recently, the community manager for Respawn Entertainment said that a total of 770,000 Apex players have been banned since the game's launch, as well as blocked 300,000 account creation attempts. According to Respawn, these recent bans have cut the number of matches with cheaters in them in half, but also fighting against cheaters is an uphill battle that they'll continue to fight. Respawn is working with EA, of course, to develop better anti-cheating methods, and states that they cannot share what they're working on right now, so they don't alert any of the cheaters before it's too late. This one might hit you a bit in the nostalgia a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Plants vs. Zombies has now turned 10 years old. 10 years? Man, I'm getting old. To celebrate the 10-year anniversary, the creators at PopCap have showed the world some of the early concept sketches for this game, and when you see the pictures, you can instantly recognize what they're from. It's also amazing to me that they kept everything looking really similar to the original sketches, even with the game's release. I guess those original drawings were spot on, they didn't want to change them at all. The creator states that the original gameplay of the game would take inspiration from Magic the Gathering, in that you would construct a deck of seed packets and the game would randomly draw from said deck and place them on a conveyor belt for you to pick from. And that's how they did some of the modes, like the walnut bowling and stuff like that. But it seriously doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. It feels like it's been like 5. Anyway, while I have an existential crisis, feel free to check out the rest of our videos from the Screencap and otherwise. Up top here, we've got another video for you probably about Riot Games, something or other. And then on the next one here, it's a mystery. Nobody knows. Click it maybe or don't, or subscribe maybe or don't.
I bet the editor knows what's down there.